Hello everyone, you're listening to the Fantasy Football Uptick. I'm Jeremiah Blue, and today I'm going to be talking about all the things that I think are wrong with the Dallas Cowboys, especially their offense. And basically that's what this is going to be about. It's going to be about their offense. Obviously they just traded for Amari Cooper, so as a fantasy football show we kind of want to touch on what he could be for the Dallas Cowboys, and I honestly don't think he's going to be much better. If you look back at the history, usually receivers that are traded mid-season aren't great statistically, but what he will bring to the Dallas Cowboys, I hope, is a way to take them from what is currently being the issue with them right now. And I found a play that happened in Week 5 against the Houston Texans in overtime that kind of really demonstrates in one specific play exactly what's wrong with the Dallas Cowboys offense. So if we look at what's wrong with the Dallas Cowboys offense, it's going to be the offensive play calling, Garrett's inability to be gutsy. They have no faith in their passing game, whether it's Dak or whether it's the receivers. They don't have any faith in their passing game, even when the defense is daring them to throw the ball and they're basically giving them the first down. All they got to do is say Hutton, do a little pitch and catch, and they get a first down. They still won't do it. They're still trying to hand it to Zeke, which obviously Zeke is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys, so that's something that you want as a fantasy player and as a Cowboy fan, but at the same time, you have to take what the defense gives you and let Zeke's offense and his abilities work their way into the game, do the things that are right for a football move. And we're going to break down a little bit of why the Dallas Cowboys are having such a hard time offensively this year in one play. Let's get started. So if we look at this play, so let me break down what's exactly going on in case some of you guys forgot. Obviously the Cowboys are on bye this week. This play just kind of stood out to me, and I've been wanting to do this video for a while. So you have everybody lined up. What they're going to do is they're going to motion Beasley to the backfield. Beasley currently has Kareem Jackson on him. So when they motion Beasley to the backfield, it's a dead giveaway that it's man-to-man because Kareem Jackson's going to follow Beasley and then hover right over the linebackers as if he's an in-the-box safety. So as you see him do this, you can see that everybody's man-to-man. So there's corner for every single receiver, and then you got the safety down on the tight end, and then you got the two linebackers in the box, and then you got the one safety over. So this is basically a cover one, or it's a cover one blitz where the linebackers are coming in. With the fact that they're playing the Dallas Cowboys and you got to account for Zeke and it's a 3rd and 2, or it's a 3rd and 1.5-ish, you're going to basically assume that the free linebacker is going to be blitzing to make that tackle on Zeke. The other linebacker is just responsible for Zeke, so as soon as Zeke takes what looks like a handoff, he's going to collapse. So they basically just don't have enough bodies to block everybody. You've got 4 defensive linemen, 5 offensive linemen, you got 1 linebacker, so that guy will be blocked, but then you got the guy that is supposed to cover Zeke, which will be unblocked in this scenario, right? So what they're relying on is to have Zeke make that guy miss inside the box, which is very hard because there's not a lot of room inside the box. So what I would suggest, if you are going to run the ball in this scenario, is either A, get as many blockers as possible. So as you can see, they just moved Beasley back, and exactly what I said happened, and Kareem Jackson came over there, dead giveaway that this is man-to-man. Now, what you're doing here is you're taking Beasley away from the blocking. So you're taking one blocker off the field, but Kareem Jackson is still a tackler, right? So even if Zeke does make that linebacker that comes free on this play miss, he still has to deal with Kareem Jackson, who is now inside the box for no reason other than the offensive coordinator has actually got him to that spot. Like he's bringing him into the box by his own play design. So at this point, you still got 9 seconds. Dak needs to know that he needs to check out of the run. The run is not going to work. You're basically sending Zeke in to get slaughtered in this play, and you've got Jonathan Joseph lined up 5-6 yards back on Allen Hurns, and all you need is 2 yards. This is a simple pitch and catch. All you got to do is have Allen Hurns runs a quick hitch route, out route kind of thing. Jonathan Joseph shouldn't be able to get to that ball, throw it to the outside shoulder, and Allen Hurns makes this catch. Now, this is where I think that the addition of Amari Cooper will help the Dallas Cowboys, because you would imagine in this scenario that they would have more faith in Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper has the ability to create that separation, to run those crisp routes. Where I don't understand in this scenario is that do they not have the faith in Allen Hurns, or do they not have the faith in Dak? Either way, this is a clear sign that the defense is daring you to basically throw the football, and they still want to run the football, which I'm fine with. If that's what the Dallas Cowboys want to do and they want to run the football, that's okay. The problem is this play design doesn't work with that mentality. If you're going to run the football regardless, Don't come out with these receivers. Don't come out with Beasley in the backfield because you're not doing anything. You basically need to come out with 6 linemen. Come out with 2 tight end sets. Move the tight ends away. Basically, football is very simple. You want more bodies blocking than they have bodies that are attacking the running back. So in this scenario, you should have Zeke on the other end, okay? And then you should have Beasley moved off to the edge and basically have Zeke run to where there's space for him to move, where he's got to make one man miss, and it's not as congested. But you got the tight end there, that's congesting it. You brought in another cornerback, that's congesting it. And then you have the 2 linebackers that are already, one of them wasn't accounted for as far as blocking goes. In this scenario, what you needed to do was just a different play call just in general. But as you can see, we'll let it play out. I circled Beasley and Kareem Jackson just to indicate that those 2 guys were in man-to-man coverage. Once Dak saw that happen, he should have known immediately that the whole team was in man-to-man there. And then as you see, there's one free linebacker. The center does get one of the linebackers, but the other linebacker is going to come free. And the result, obviously, is that Zeke can't get that first down. And it's 6 minutes left in the game. So you have to go for it. You're on the 41-yard line. That's only like 5 yards out of field goal range. So you have to go for it in this scenario, and even if you don't make it, your defense still comes out, can take the offense to a 3-and-out and get the ball back. But punting the ball in this scenario is just a bad call just in general because you're fighting against the clock. Most of the good teams in the NFL, the Eagles, the Patriots, the Rams, the Chiefs, just a couple off the top of my head, are very aggressive teams. They're going for it in this scenario. That's what separates the great teams from the bad teams. The Cowboys are losing these little games because they don't have faith in their quarterback, they don't have faith in their receivers, and their offensive play calling is, you're not going for broke. They're not being creative enough, and they're doing stupid things like moving Beasley to the backfield. There is no reason in the world to move Beasley into the backfield in that scenario. Everybody in the world knows Beasley's not getting the handoff. Zeke's not throwing the block. If you're going to move Beasley anywhere, move Beasley in front of Elliott where he can throw the block on that linebacker, and maybe Elliott does get that next yard. The fact that they move Beasley completely out of the play, Dak's already not blocking. Dak's ability to do the read option does hold a defensive end in place, but he's not blocking, so you're basically running into people that you just can't block. You can't block all those people, and that's my big issue with that play. Fantasy wise, I like the addition. I actually think it's going to be good for Beasley. I know that sounds crazy because he's going to take a lot of the coverage, but think of it, he's not much different than what Dez was last year in the aspect of that he's going to draw some double teams. The defenses are going to start to pay attention a little bit more to Cooper, which is going to open up Beasley. And if we go back to Dak's rookie year when Beasley really had that 800-yard season, I think that's going to be more what you can expect from Beasley, because during that time, Dez did take a lot of that pressure off of him. Where Amari Cooper is actually better than Dez Bryant is the fact that he's a better route runner than Dez Bryant was, and his ability to create separation. So assuming he can fix his drops issue, Amari Cooper is going to be able to be a benefit to the Dallas Cowboys because of his ability to get open. What I don't believe is that Scott Linehan is going to have the guts to change his system just a bit to kind of feature Amari Cooper a little bit more in this offense to try to get him the ball. That is where he failed with Dez Bryant. It was his inability to be creative and move Dez Bryant around the offense to create mismatches and get him open. But I do believe that this offense, the way that it's ran, does need an elite receiver because it is built around defenses accounting for that elite receiver, which is the way that they're playing the Cowboys right now. There was not an elite receiver. As far as fantasy goes, though, I don't believe that Amari Cooper is going to be much more valuable than he was. I don't believe his value is going to take a hit because with the Raiders, it was just kind of up and down anyway, whether he was either a boom or a bust. He was the ultimate boom or bust game if you go back and look at his stats. I do like the fit for the Dallas Cowboys. I think this is going to be better for Zeke owners. I think Amari Cooper does help. I think this helps the Dak owners in those deeper leagues if you had to start Dak. And then I do think it helps Beasley quite a bit here just by eliminating some of the coverage that Beasley would face. That's my issue with the Dallas Cowboys. That was I thought that one play kind of summed up everything really nicely. I hope you liked the show. Thanks for listening. See ya!